Chosen one. Pause for a moment. Feel the weight in your chest right now. That pressure that has been there so long, you almost forgot. It was not always part of you. If you are here, if you clicked on this message out of thousands you could have ignored, it is because something in your spirit recognized a frequency, a call that your mind could not hear, but your soul has been waiting for. This Saturday, everything you have been carrying without understanding why comes into focus. Not just clarity, completion. And I need you to stay with me because what I am about to reveal will rewrite how you see every struggle, every setback, every moment you thought you were losing when you were actually being prepared for exactly this. Here is what most people will never tell you. The heaviness you feel is not random. The exhaustion that does not lift, no matter how much you rest. The sense that you are living between two worlds, not fully here but not able to reach where you sense you should be, that is not depression, that is not burnout, that is the friction of transformation. You are a butterfly still inside the cocoon, and the cocoon is getting too small. I need to be direct with you. You have been carrying something that does not belong to you anymore. A heaviness that has nothing to do with your circumstances and everything to do with the version of yourself that is dying to make room for who you are becoming. You feel it in your chest when you wake up. That weight that sits there before you even open your eyes, before you remember what day it is, before the responsibilities flood back in. You feel it in the silence when everyone else is asleep, and you are left alone with thoughts that circle but never land anywhere safe. Picture this moment with me. It is 2 in the morning. The house is quiet. Your phone glows on the nightstand, but there is no one you can call who would truly understand what you are carrying. Not because they do not care, but because what you are experiencing does not have language yet. It sits in that space between your ribs where words cannot reach. You stare at the ceiling and feel the distance between who you are right now and who you sense you could be. And that distance is not shrinking, it is growing. And that terrifies you more than you let anyone know. You have tried to name it: depression, anxiety, burnout, stress. Maybe just getting older, losing the spark. But none of those words fit exactly right, do they? Because what you are experiencing is not a breakdown. It is the exact opposite. It is a breakthrough that has not finished breaking through yet. It is the sound of an old structure cracking so a new one can emerge. And the cracking always sounds like catastrophe before it reveals itself as birth. Let me show you something that will make this clear. There are 5 unmistakable signs that confirm you are in the final stage of transformation. And the more of these you recognize in your own life, the closer Saturday is to becoming your turning point. If any of these land in your spirit, let me know in the comments. Your confirmation helps others recognize their own journey. The first sign is exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. You rest, but wake up heavy. Your body is fine, but your soul feels drained. This is not weakness. This is the energy cost of running 2 versions of yourself simultaneously. The old identity and the new one being assembled in the same space. Of course you are tired. The second sign is emotional turbulence with no clear source. You cry without knowing why. Peace floods you 1 hour and emptiness the next. This is not instability. Your emotional frequency is recalibrating to match a resonance you have not carried before. The static you feel is 2 frequencies trying to sync. The third sign is that your tolerance has shifted completely. Conversations that once sustained you now drain you. People you loved being around now feel heavy. Places that felt like home now feel like cages, and you feel guilty because nothing about them changed. But you did. Your new frequency is rejecting what no longer matches it. That rejection feels like loneliness, but it is actually alignment. The fourth sign is dreams so vivid they feel more real than your waking life. Dreams where you are searching for something or standing in familiar places that look different or meeting versions of yourself you do not recognize. These are not random, they are rehearsals. Your spirit is practicing for the reality you are about to enter. And the fifth sign is a knowing you cannot explain to anyone. A deep, wordless certainty that something is about to shift, not hope, not optimism. Certainty, as if a part of you already exists in the future and is simply waiting for the rest of you to arrive. If you felt something stir as I described those signs, drop a comment right now. Type, "I recognize this." Because that recognition is not coincidence. It is confirmation that you are exactly where this message was designed to meet you. Now let me tell you what is actually happening. Inside a cocoon, before the butterfly emerges, the caterpillar does not simply grow wings. It dissolves. Every cell breaks apart. Everything it was becomes liquid. And from that liquid chaos, something entirely new assembles itself. If you opened the cocoon during that process, you would see nothing recognizable. You would think everything had gone wrong, but nothing went wrong. Everything was going exactly as it needed to. That is where you are right now. In the dissolution, in the dark formless space between what you were and what you are becoming. And the reason it feels like you are falling apart is because you are not into nothing, into something your old structure could never hold. This Saturday marks the completion of that process. The moment the new form solidifies, the moment you step out of the cocoon, not as a better version of who you were, but as someone you have never met before. Let me give you something practical. I call it the Saturday Protocol. It takes 7 minutes, and it aligns your entire being with the identity that is emerging. You do this Saturday morning before the noise of the day begins. 3 steps. Step 1 is the clearing. You walk through your space and you identify one thing that represents the old version of you. A habit, a belonging, a routine. Something that the person you were needed, but the person you are becoming does not, and you release it, give it away, delete it, stop doing it. One thing, this is not symbolic. This creates physical space for the new identity to inhabit. Step 2 is the declaration. You stand in front of a mirror, not to admire yourself or criticize yourself, but to meet yourself. And you say out loud, I am no longer who I was yesterday. I am who I am becoming today. You say it until you feel the shift in your chest, until the words stop being a hope and become a fact. Step 3 is the first action. You do one thing you have been avoiding because it belongs to the new version of you and terrifies the old version. One email, one conversation, one decision, one step. Because identity does not solidify in thought, it solidifies in motion. The clearing, the declaration, the action, 7 minutes. And you are not doing this to become the new you. You are doing this because the new you is already here. Saturday is not when it happens. Saturday is when you acknowledge it already happened. Here is another tool. The resonance audit takes 30 seconds but reveals everything. Right now, in your mind, think of 3 things in your life that drain you. People, habits, environments, anything that leaves you emptier after contact. You know exactly what they are. The conversation that exhausts you, the routine that numbs you, the relationship that takes more than it gives. Now think of 3 things that restore you. Things that make your chest lighter, your mind clearer, your spirit more alive. The music that reaches something deep. The silence that does not feel empty. The person whose presence does not require performance. This week, cut the drains, double the restorers. Not eventually. This week, because the person you are becoming cannot afford to feed what was destroying the person you were. Every minute you give to what drains you is a minute stolen from what would restore you. And restoration is not selfish. It is preparation. You cannot carry what is coming if you are still carrying what should have been released 3 seasons ago. Let me show you something else. You know how certain songs can transport you back to a specific moment in your life. One note, and suddenly you are 16 again. Or standing in that room where everything changed, or feeling what you felt before the world taught you to be careful. That is because frequency holds memory. Your body remembers resonances even when your mind forgets. Right now, your entire system is tuning to a frequency you knew before the world told you who to be, before you learned to make yourself smaller. Before you traded your authenticity for approval, that original frequency never left. It just went quiet under all the noise you were taught to carry. And Saturday is when it comes back online. I want you to do something with me right now. Close your eyes for just a moment after you read this. Picture yourself standing in an open field. The sun is setting, but there is still light. You are alone, but you do not feel lonely. You feel clean, unburdened. And in the distance, you see someone walking toward you. As they get closer, you realize something. They have your face. But there is something different about them. Their shoulders are not carrying anything. Their eyes are clear, settled. They move with a quiet, unshakable certainty that does not need to announce itself. This is not imagination. This is recognition. This is your spirit showing you what your mind has not accepted yet. The person walking toward you is not who you will become. It is who you already are under everything you have been carrying that does not belong to you. And Saturday is when the gap between you and them closes completely. And now we enter the sacred space. Everything shifts here. I want to say thank you, not to you but for you. Thank you to the power that held you when your hands were too tired to hold yourself together. Thank you for the sleepless nights that felt unbearable, but were building your capacity for stillness, for sitting in the dark without running from it. Thank you for the prayers that went unanswered, because what you were asking for was too small for what was being prepared. You were praying for relief. You were being prepared for transformation. And transformation does not come to make you comfortable. It comes to make you powerful. Thank you for the doors that closed in your face. Every rejection that felt like failure. Every opportunity that evaporated right before you could grasp it. They were not punishments. They were redirections, protecting you from paths that would have worked but would have limited you, keeping you available for something your mind was not big enough to imagine yet. Every weight you carried when no one was watching, every morning you got up when staying down made more sense, every choice to keep going when quitting had better logic, all of it was witnessed. None of it was wasted. Every single moment was building the strength you are about to need. Now it is time to release. And I mean truly release, not the kind of letting go you do in your mind while still gripping it in your spirit. Release the version of you that needed permission to shine. The version that waited for someone else to notice before believing it was real. Release the version that apologized for existing fully, for taking up space, for wanting more than what was offered. Release the version that measured worth by applause, by approval, by how many people validated what you already knew in your bones. Release the fear of being seen completely, of being known fully, of letting people witness you without the armor. Release the story that your best days are behind you, that you peaked already, that the brightest moments are in the rearview mirror, and all that is left is managing decline. That story is not true. It never was. It was a lie you accepted when you were too tired to fight it. But you are not too tired anymore. Release every chain made of opinions you have been carrying like treasure. Opinions from people who do not live your life, but felt entitled to narrate it. Voices that told you to be smaller, quieter, safer, more reasonable. You do not owe them your brilliance diminished to make their comfort possible. If you are ready to step into what has been waiting for you, type "I am ready" in the comments right now, not as hope, not as wishful thinking, as fact, as declaration. Let your words become the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. And if you felt this land in your spirit, if something in your chest just shifted as you read those words, let your like be your agreement, your silent amen that says yes. I receive this, because every like, every comment, every share is not just engagement. It is energetic agreement. It is you speaking into existence what your spirit already knows is true. I speak this over your life. And I need you to receive this, not as nice words, but as truth being spoken into the atmosphere around you. Step forward now, not when fear disappears, not when every question has an answer, not when you feel ready. Now, because the fear will remain, but so will the one who walks with you, and where you are going. No weapon formed against you will succeed, no scheme designed to stop. You will outlast the authority placed inside you. No voice raised to diminish. You will carry more weight than the voice that called you before you were born. You are stepping forward not because you are unafraid, but because what is with you is infinitely greater than anything that could ever stand against you. You have been planted in darkness, not to die there, but to grow roots deep enough to hold what is coming. And what is coming is bigger than what you have been asking for. It is what you stopped asking for because you thought it was impossible. But impossibility is not a boundary to the one who placed this call in your spirit. I activate every gift that has been sleeping, every ability that went dormant because the season was not right. Every talent you buried because no one recognized it, so you assumed it was not real. I activate the words that have been locked in your throat, waiting for permission to be spoken. I activate the creativity that shut down when the world told you to be practical. I activate the vision you stopped believing in because too many people could not see it. I activate every door that stayed locked, not because it was not yours, but because you were not ready to walk through it, carrying what you carry now. The preparation is finished. The testing is complete. The key has turned. I place protection over this new identity. I shield it from the sabotage that will try to pull you back in the next 72 hours. The voice that will say this was just emotion. Just a moment. Just words that felt good, but will not change anything. I guard it from the comparison that will whisper other people's timelines into your mind, making you think you are behind when you are exactly on time. I protect what is rising in you from premature exposure, because not everyone deserves to see what is being built. Some things grow best in sacred silence before they emerge in undeniable power. You are the cycle breaker. And I do not say that lightly. What ends with you frees every generation that comes after you. The patterns of limitation, the belief that struggle is identity, the acceptance of less than what was promised, all of it stops here, with you, in this season. You are the hinge point in your lineage. What you break through now creates a path for people who do not even exist yet. You are the truth carrier. You will never apologize again for the clarity you bring into confused spaces. Your presence will make people uncomfortable because it will remind them of the compromise they chose. But that discomfort is not your responsibility to manage. You are the voice. And when you speak, Atmospheres shift, lies lose their power. Illusions dissolve. What was hidden comes into light, not through force, but through the frequency you carry. You are not the caterpillar that entered the cocoon. You are what was hidden inside it all along. The blueprint that was there from the beginning, waiting for everything else to fall away so it could finally be seen. And this Saturday, the world meets you for the first time, not the version you have been showing them. The real you, the one you have been protecting, the one you almost forgot was still there. Let this settle into your bones. Let it anchor so deeply that when Saturday comes and doubt knocks, your spirit will not flinch. It is done. It is sealed. We receive it. Amen. You are not alone. Right now across the world, chosen ones are experiencing this same emergence. You are part of a wave that does not stop. The person you were when this started is not who sits here now. Something moved. You felt it. It was not information. It was identity entering your spirit. If this brought clarity where there was confusion, let your like be your amen. If someone came to mind while listening, someone pulling away without explanation, someone carrying weight they cannot name, send this to them. This might be the confirmation their spirit is waiting for. Your share could be the moment they realize they are not breaking down. They are breaking through. Walk gently into Saturday, chosen one. What rises from this moment will be more powerful than anything the old you could imagine. You are not leaving a message, you are leaving a season, and the one ahead has your name on it.